a finer man for the task. Retake the former Western Roman Empire from the barbarians. Deliver it to our beloved emperor on a plate. These games should be in your honor. When I heard Justinian had you in mind, I can't say I was surprised. After all, you were his uncle's favorite bodyguard. Not to mention your accomplishments at the Battle of Dara. And the way you suppressed the riots in Nika. You are the last of the great commanders, and your loyalty is clearly above question. However, the ruins of Rome are a wild and unpredictable place. A lot can happen out of reach of these fragrant walls. A man might look about him and think perhaps that it is all rightfully his. Good luck, Belisarius.
The Emperor Justinian has grand plans for the Empire. From his seat at Constantinople, he plans to reclaim those western territories lost to barbarism for the glory of Rome. However, presently it's no more than a vision. What Justinian really needs is a general to command his army. The type of man who hasn't been seen since the time of Caesar and Augustus. In Belisarius, Justinian has found this man. The key to this grand plan is control of the Mediterranean Sea to secure supply and trade routes, which will ensure the army is kept and the dream of a restored united empire maintained. However, the Vandal fleet is too powerful to attack head-on. Control of northern Africa must be decided on the battlefield before any hope of taking Rome can be entertained. Once Africa has been recovered, we must turn our attention to the Ostrogothic usurpers who rule Italy. Great glory awaits he who delivers Rome into Roman hands once again.
It was the year 533 AD, when one of the Roman Emperor's most storied generals, Flavius Belisarius, landed on the African coast. Charged with wresting control back from the Vandals that sacked these settlements long ago during the fall of the Western Roman Empire, Emperor Justinian's plan was to retake control of the Mediterranean Sea and reclaim the eternal city of Rome once more. His most trusted general, Belisarius, was his only choice to get the job done. Belisarius knew a task this large could not be done alone, so he brought along one of his most trusted friends, a great warrior and leader that went by the name John the Armenian. It was only together that this seemingly impossible task could be completed. Once organized, Belisarius and John knew they had to move quickly. Once word spread of their landing on the shoreline, it would only be a matter of time before King Gelimer of the Vandals would send an army east to meet them.
How can I assist you?
Their first target was the nearby village of Thistris, a small farming settlement that would provide food to his legion in this unforgiving land. The Vandals were completely caught off guard by the attack, with only a small garrison detail stationed to defend the settlement. Made up of mostly townsfolk and young men no older than 15, these poor bastards would be the first to feel the fist of Belisarius.
There is no wall in all the world that can keep us out. No man whose bravery matches ours. No swords sharper! No spear!
Reinforcing troops, and not a moment too soon.
As ours. So, we will conquer here!
And it was with those words that the assault began. Belisarius' men had trained long and hard for this campaign, and they were eager to put that training to the test. They marched upon the town with eagerness, and it was not long before the world would know that Rome was not dead. One by one, the settlements fell. Thysdrus was the first to bend the knee to Roman rule. Then, their neighbor to the west, Attila, followed suit. This left only the provincial capital of Hadrumetum standing. Once that fell, which it quickly did, this left an entire province in the hands of the Roman Empire. Belisarius' plans were working well. Autumn, 533 AD. The Vandal king Gelimer is spotted holding fast in the small settlement of the Berbo, south of Carthage. King Gelimer at this point makes a devastating mistake and heads south with his heir to battle a Roman scout army. In his anger and hatred for all things Roman, he over-pursues his small army and has trapped himself and his son Zazo deep in Roman territory. Belisarius sees the opportunity to kill two birds with one stone and makes a daring attack on the Vandals, who are well entrenched. The casualties will be endless, but the opportunity to kill an enemy king and his heir in one fell swoop is well worth the risk.
Ready for orders. Make haste, men! Ready for battle. To battle, brave Romans!
King Gelimer was well entrenched. After seeing the mistake he made in traveling too deep into Roman territory, he knew he had but one chance: build a defensive fortification that can keep the Romans out. There was one problem with this tactic. His son, Zazo, was still outside and traveling to meet him. Belisarius knew that it was imperative that his son not make it to that stronghold. If he did, there would be no way they would have the power to overtake it. This is where John the Armenian came into play. Playing mostly a reserve role in the previous battles, John the Armenian and his army were itching to get into a scrap, and now was the perfect chance. If they could just cut off Gelimer's son, they would stand a chance at winning this battle. And that is what they did. Completely surrounded and cut off from the rest of his army, King Gelimer's son, Zazo, was to meet his end. His father, Gelimer, could do nothing but watch from inside the safety of his wooden walls, as his son was slaughtered. Some survivors of the battle say that as soon as he saw his son fall from that horse, the battle was already lost. Gelimer fell to one knee and let out a scream so loud that Emperor Julian himself could hear it. But Belisarius knew that even if Gelimer had given up, his men surely wouldn't go down so easily. The battle was about to begin. The assault was to be completed in 2 parts. Belisarius knew that his soldiers would never make it past the wooden towers and the spearmen guarding the entrances to the wooden walls. Therefore, his first plan was to have his archers fire arrows of flame into the wooden structures until they crisp and burned to the ground. Only then would the second phase begin: the melee assault, charge, and execution of the dreaded Vandal King. The first phase of the attack went well. Belisarius' archers were able to set flame to the towers and the walls guarding the soldiers within. This would make the second phase of the attack that much easier for the infantry and cavalry that would be marching into battle.
Their tower has fallen! Good news!
Keep those weapons clean, men.
Belisarius watched from his horse and was quite pleased with the way his warriors were fighting. But the best was yet to come. The archers fired into Gelimer's army until there was not one arrow remaining. They killed men, they killed horse, they killed hope. With phase 1 of the battle completed, Belisarius moved his battle-hungry, hardened soldiers into formation for attack.
Eyes front. Worry about them, nothing else.
Steel clashed upon steel. Steel clashed upon bone. And steel clashed upon hope. As Belisarius' main infantry line held Gelimer's infantry in place, Belisarius' cavalry used this opportunity to sweep around to the flank and completely encircle the enemy army. It was only a matter of time now before the end of King Gelimer.
Enemy units have been rallied!
Gelimer's men fled by the hundreds, as wave upon wave of Roman shield crashed upon them, like waves against the shore. Although he remained stoic, Belisarius was overflowing with joy and excitement. This was the first step on their road back to Rome. It was said that King Gelimer made his final charge with a tear-filled face, still stricken with grief and anger over the death of his son just moments before. He took a spear to the throat that day and fell from his horse. Although he was not an honorable man in life, he died in honorable death. The battle was an absolute victory for Belisarius and John the Armenian's legions. Both King Gelimer and his son Prince Zazo were slain, and the Vandal kingdom left without leadership. Belisarius' body was torn to pieces, his 4 arms and legs sent to the 4 provinces of Africa as a warning, and his head sent to Rome itself. The warning, however, did not have the effect that Belisarius desired.